Well, welcome back to a second blog posting. Here we're again dealing with the sources for the Greek New Testament. And today we're going to talk just for a few minutes about parchments. Now, we have some 242 parchments that are part of the grand mix of manuscripts that we have available. These were used between the 3rd and the 13th century. And here is where we have the use of animal skins. And in particular kind of animal skin was called vellum, particularly fine. For instance, antelope skins that were used. And these were used in both scroll form, where they were rolled up, or codices, that's the plural of the word codex. And here's again where you have some binding off of the left-hand side. Now, we have writing certainly that is possible on both sides, and that's what they did. So when they were working with the animal skins, they removed the hair by scraping. They would wash it, they smoothed it with pumice rock, and they would dress it up with chalk. Some of the vellum were dyed with a very deep purple and written with some gold and silver links, but you may find this humorous. Some of the scribes objected and thought this was importing some worldly stuff into the transmission of the New Testament. Now again, the parchments, 242 of them, they were all uncials, capital letters. No punctuation, no word spaces, no numbers or chapters. So let's take a look at a couple examples. This is the Codex Sinaiticus, and this is dated around the 3rd, 4th century. And you'll see it, very big block columns there. One of the finest manuscripts that we have available and early. Here's another example that this is a little bit more legible to you. This is called the Codex Vaticanus. And this is in the 14th or 4th century. Now, here we have a portion from Matthew's Gospel, and with your limited knowledge of Greek, let me work through a little bit here. Here is where the passage where Jesus is addressing the crowds after the people have gone back to see the Baptist in prison. And he says, "What did you go out in the wilderness to see?" He says, "Did you go out to see a man dressed in fine garments?" And then he makes a statement, "Those who are dressed in fine or effeminate clothing," and here we have the Greek word malakos, fine, soft, or effeminate. Here we have a participle, pharuntes, bearing or wearing, fine garments or soft garments. Here we have the Greek preposition en, which means in. Tois, this is the definite article that is masculine plural dative. In the oikos, the houses. Tone, there is the feminine plural genitive ending here, and this continues on into the next line, basileon, of kings. And then we have the negative, but, Allah. So you'll see here the process of separating words that are all jammed together. And it may seem very difficult for us today because we grew up learning how to read words with word spaces. But if you grew up just learning how to read letters one after the other, your eye would certainly make the adjustments. So thanks.